Douglas Henry is going to go ahead and starts to pull away, so we're going to grab him, pull him up into the booth and get an interview from your pole sitter. Hey, Doug, this is Noah up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I got a copy.
Well, Douglas Henry, here you are on pole at Bristol. You are one of the favorites to win this race. You're definitely my pick right here, right now. Tell us, how do you feel about your chances of winning this Bristol race, getting your first win of 2025, and getting yourself back inside that top 5, getting above that pay line?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fast. I think this is one of those tracks where I benefit from the car suspension changes this season. I feel really comfortable running the bottom, even more so than last year, and I'm looking forward to the race, and hopefully I can come across the finish line in first and increase those points.
Well, you have Daniel Honeycutt starting to your outside. We think back to what happened between you and him at Homestead. If he tries to battle you early for this lead, are you going to let him have it? Are you going to fight him as hard? You know you might have one coming.
I probably just got a few coming from him, deservedly so. But this is a long race, so if he wants to go hard off the charge here, he can have it. I'm just going to settle in for the long run.
We're about to go green. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Douglas Henry out with the early lead. Look at Daniel Honeycutt to the outside. The go time music is just starting, but the race already has Daniel Honeycutt to the top. It's going to fade in a little bit differently this season, but as they make it throughout the first couple of corners onto the front stretch, completing the first lap, Daniel Honeycutt on board, Jacob Alicia behind. 15-second average lap times here at Bristol. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cage Rattler 225 is here. And already we see Daniel Honeycutt goes to the lead. A battle for second between Douglas Henry and Jacob Alicia. Two OGs in PALracing, neck to neck right now. Aiden Gould still attacking. Now it's to the outside of Douglas Henry. He might be able to make the pass here in the corner. Aiden Gould on that top side. What kind of run can he get? Does Douglas Henry let him go? I think Doug will. He stays on the corner panel on entry, but I think Aiden will clear on exit. Not quite still there. Now he's all clear just by about a nose, and I think he'll complete it right here on the exit of 4. Yes, he will. Aiden Gould into the second position. And I mean, what a battle this is, side by side, like ballerinas dancing. And look who's showing up just in their wake is Pop Tart Pete. He's in the 4th position trying to run down the pair. Perhaps he has saved better tires than these guys up front. Pop Tart Pete, as Douglas Henry gets re-cleared by Aiden Gould, maybe we see Pete Tart inject himself into this battle and take it swiftly. This is really going to test how much tire he saved compared to the two. Meanwhile, Daniel Honeycutt's lead is still only a second and 3/10 now. Douglas Henry, back bumper of Aiden Gould, tries to rip the wall. Aiden takes away that middle line that he needs to rotate back down through the center. Tight racing right now. And even though Daniel's already just a second and a half out, he's still running a little bit within the same lap times as these two, even though they are side by side. Look at Daniel, but here comes Doug. He might have some room on the top. What kind of run can he get on the exit? He's close, inside, has to check up. Daniel shuts the door. Honeycutt is going to shut the door on Doug, and here they go down the back straight. End of the corner. Douglas Henry on the top, Daniel Honeycutt on the bottom. Look at Doug, look at the run. He gets to the inside. Douglas Henry just about even with Honeycutt. John Shane Bockler riding the middle line. Where could Daniel go? Squirrely off the exit, gets it to the wall. Doug down to the bottom. Here we go, side by side. This is the first tire, the first fuel run of the day, but both of these guys, 83 laps in, showing immense strength. They can put these cars anywhere, and Daniel Honeycutt will re-clear. Douglas Henry still following in line, but he needs to act quick because here comes Pete Tart in the 21 car. 3 cars underneath the blanket. Honeycutt to the wall. Oh, that is Spencer Burton, who is down on the inside in the infield. Caution is out for the first time at Bristol, lap 84. Spencer Burton. This is the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. And you can see that back end. Looks like it's going to step out on exit. Oh, look at T-Pain. Great job out of Michael Alfaro to dodge the 98. He's going to get it locked down just kind of on the racing surface. That does throw the caution. Pace truck pulls off, and Douglas Henry might have just spun the tires in the restart zone. There goes Daniel Honeycutt. And ladies and gentlemen, we got the race back underway. Here comes Doug back on the top. Daniel is going to concede the high side. Look at all these guys underneath the blanket. Everybody jockeying for position. Now's the time to get that track position. Douglas Henry on the top, rockets along, and Douglas Henry goes to the lead. And now Daniel Honeycutt has to defend against Aiden Gould and Pete Tart. And look at Jacob Alicia ripping the wall up there. Jacob Alicia, even with Pete Tart, he's going to clear the 21, sets his sights on Aiden Gould and Daniel Honeycutt. But Douglas Henry is not out of the weeds just yet. Douglas Henry. So I thought, yeah, we are under caution. What just happened? Michael Alfaro down there in that 11 machine. What happens here? Oh, just sideways in the corner. Luke Chadwick does a really good job at locking it up. Let's go on board with Luke Chadwick. So he's following Michael Alfaro. Luke is also dealing with a loose car. Into the corner. He's going to see T-Pain slide. Look at him. Masterclass locking it down. Near miss. Nice job out of Chadwick there, your inaugural Talladega Derby champion. Alicia has a big gap to Gould, and there goes Douglas Henry. Ladies and gentlemen, back underway. Doug on the top. Look at all these guys rocket through the corner. And here comes Aiden Gould on that top side. Black and white machine around the top. Can he complete the pass on the exit of the corner? Not quite. Even with Doug. Doug into the bottom of the corner. Alicia way up there on that wall, waiting for those two to crash, I think. These two guys are running really close. Here comes Alicia on that top line. Matthew Legatt moves into 4th. Daniel Honeycutt drops into the 5th position. Now, Jacob Alicia looking to the inside of Douglas Henry. Jacob Alicia trying to fight his way back to the lead, trying to avenge what has been a disappointing season for the 31. He clears Douglas Henry. He thought he might have chopped his nose, gives him the top back. That's what a leader here in PAL does. Leading by example. He's going to get the position back. Doug, nowhere to go, has Legatt to the inside. Can't dive to the bottom, but Aiden Gould has the lead, and now Jacob Alicia begins to run him down. We've seen guys be up and down this track all day long. Oh, into the back of the 81, unable to lift. Got a really good run on exit, and that's going to cause Legatt to spin in front of Alicia. He saves it, and Daniel Honeycutt gets involved into the wall. Pete Tart, Douglas Henry, Joe Houston all wrecked. Daniel Honeycutt's car is torn to pieces. So is Matthew Legatt's. Started with Alicia getting the back of Legatt on the exit of turn 4, and the wreck finishes on the backstretch, exiting turn 2. Here we go. You're going to see Alicia. Big bump to the back end of the 81 of Legatt, and then in the corner, Matthew just didn't have his setup into the entry where it needed to be after that contact. Daniel nowhere to go inside the 31. Goes down to the inside wall. Now watch this contact. Pete Tart nowhere to go. Joe Houston actually gets through it clear. Douglas Henry got into Legatt. Pace truck is going to pull off 108 laps here, just about halfway. Honeycutt, really good launch. He's going to get about 3 car length gap over the rest of the field. Greg Jodian on the bottom, John Shanebacher on the top. Jacob Alicio still trying to make speed in that damaged race car on the bottom. Joe Houston just behind. We're going to really pay attention to the speed Alicia has. That car is going to skate up a little bit, trying to run down Greg Jodian. Meanwhile, Aiden Gould still leading 8/10. Got a really good jump there. Let's go ahead and while these guys battle it out right now for the second position, Joe Houston on the top right now, getting around Alicia. Houston looking to the bottom. Gould still up there on that top line, but now Houston is about even. They're side by side, door to door, not quite. Houston still about a front tire back, but here he goes through the corner. They're even down the back straight. What will Joe do when it turns 3 and 4? Slides up a little bit. Might have used that door on entry. On exit, Houston trying to get that run, but Aiden definitely superb exits there on the top. Able to build the run, not quite now. Houston into the lead. Joe Houston takes the lead at Bristol, and he looks for his first career win. We still have quite a bit of race to go, just under 75, but he could be on track to getting his first in PALracing. Douglas Henry trying to run down Aiden Gould. Aiden Gould spins! Aiden Gould the round on the bottom of the racetrack! Caution is out. Aiden Gould spun, possibly trying to push that car to get back to Joe. Aiden Gould, I think we're going to see a solo spin trying to run down Houston on the exit of the corner sideways. What a save, though. Inverts the car, keeps it off the wall. Get it off the racing surface. Not quite. He's stalled it there on the apron. That caution comes out. Into the restart zone. Joe Houston gets a good launch. He said he's not afraid to let these guys get around him early because he thinks he can get them back. He's on his last set of tires. That means if we get a caution late, he has no stickers to put on. We don't know how everybody else sits in the field, but he needs to save just a little bit. He's going to pull away, and meanwhile, Douglas Henry has to fight Eric Gonzalez. The first time we've talked about Eric all day long in the top 3. Look at the inside of Doug. Through turns 3 and 4, your Homestead winner, the Grip It and Rip It 225. He comes out of the corner, gripping and ripping it too. A little sideways. Doug might be able to clear him back into second. He's still even, though, falls back in line. It is a 2-car battle for the lead. Aiden has fallen back 2 seconds between the pair. Here we go. In the lap traffic, Joe Houston has to defend. Dylan Simmons almost comes off the wall and gets Doug. Doug to the bottom. He's within reach. Can he get to the inside corner panel? Off of the corner. Houston still has the advantage. 16 laps to go. Joe Houston still trying to hang on. Douglas Henry trying to run him down. Ladies and gentlemen, it is heating up. Joe Houston still just around a 10.5 lead over Doug. Doug, right there to his back bumper, chases him into the wall off the corner. Here they go. Here comes the exit. Can Doug get to the bottom? Not quite. Joe stays on the top, dumping dirty air on the 66. Here they come out of the corner. Doug all the way to the rear bumper of Joe Houston. How do they fare to the corner? Douglas Henry to the bottom. Douglas Henry looking for the lead. Joe Houston battling back on the top. They're even down the back straight into turns 3 and 4. Can Joe get that run on exit? Here comes Doug. He has a brand nose. Joe down into Doug. Contact. All in fair game. Joe Houston just loose off the corner. Doug has to reel it back in, but he still hasn't been cleared even as he enters into the corner. On the corner panel of the 3, I still think he has the shot. Not quite. Doug pulls back down in line. Joe Houston will live to fight another lap, but can Doug get it recollected down the backstretch? One of the closest battles we've seen for the win all season long. It's coming down to this, and maybe with the exception of the Talladega Derby, the closest battle of season 3. Here we go. Doug to the bottom. He has the run. He has the turn in the car. 10 laps to go. Doug to the bottom. Joe Houston, does he have anything left? Will he be the one to rattle the cage? Into the walls, Joe Houston. That's going to be into the run for him. That is going to hurt his momentum. And Doug to the lead. Doug pulls away, and the crowd goes wild as Douglas Henry goes to the lead. Now officially 10 laps to go. Coming to 9. Joe dirt tracking off the corner. Doug, clean air ahead. Open raceway. 1 lap to go for the 66. He has been winless all season long into 2025. He's been in a drought. The man who has to win his way to have a chance at the championship. Douglas Henry wins the Cage Rattler 225.
Let's fucking go, boys!
Fuck yeah,
Finally
dude.
got one this season. The streak has ended.
Hey, congratulations, brother.
Thank you, thank you. Let's roast these tires.
Finally got one this season, he says, and on the front stretch, he begins to burn it down. Douglas Henry wins at Bristol, race 11 of season 3. His winless streak has been so long. The last time we saw him in victory lane was race 3 of season 2, but he finally snaps a winless streak. He definitely launches himself into the top 5, maybe the top 3 in points. A great day for Doug, and I think he's going to go try to find victory lane. No, he's going to continue to burn it down. Oh my gosh, Douglas Henry has to be ecstatic. He puts it to the stop. Let's go drag him into the booth, baby. Douglas Henry, you got it done, buddy. You got it done.
We got it done. The streak is over.
Doug, tell us about the adversity. Not that you just had to battle this season, but since that last win of yours that came all the way to the beginning of season 2, you went into a slump. We didn't get to see Dover, a race you have a win at, come back on the schedule for season 3. How much does this win mean to you? Is this better than the baby car victory? What does this do to your mental as we go into the last 2 races of the season?
My spirits are soaring high right now. This isn't as good as the Bristol or the Charlotte win, but this is amazing. I had an awesome battle with so many cars on the track. Everybody's running clean. I didn't wreck anybody. I didn't wreck myself. So it's just fantastic.
Alrighty, Doug, please tell me, how are we celebrating tonight?
Well, we're gonna crack a few beers, and I got to work in the morning, so I guess a good night's rest.
Alrighty, congratulations, Douglas Henry. First career win in 2025. This puts you up there above the pay line. You might come home this season with some money. We'll see you next week at Texas, where you have speed, and then we look forward to Darlington at the end of the season. Congratulations one more time, Douglas Henry. Get loud in the crowd.
Thank you, thank you.
We'll send Doug back down, and we'll grab your P2 finisher, Joe Houston, who came up just short. Let's talk to him. Joe Houston, I made the comparison, the metaphor in the booth, that this reminded me of Denny Hamlin and Matt DiBenedetto at Bristol all those years ago, and I put you in the shoes of Matt DiBenedetto, a driver looking for his first win, who has went out there and deserved it. He showed that he's earned it, but comes up short once again. Joe, you guys had matched tires, but what were you missing to hold off a charging Douglas Henry?
Yeah, we have similar driving styles, I feel like, and before the race, you said in the driver's meeting, I know who's been practicing in the practice races and who hasn't. And I was thinking at that time, man, I'll be lucky to just get through this race and take it easy, because I've not been one of those practicing. So as the race kind of goes on, getting a little quicker, finally get out front, and then was able to just push it a little too much. And that's where Douglas and I really both can shine. But he, being in second, you can kind of control your pace a little more. And yeah, it was a fun race, though. I'm happy with second.
All righty, Joe. Well, we look forward to Texas
and
next week. Oh, yep.
Don't compare me to Matt DiBenedetto, because he never went on to win. So we're going to change that.
Okay, I copy that, Joe. Well, talking about winning, we go into Texas next week. Then we follow Texas with the season finale, the Don't Tread on Me 220 at Darlington. I know you've had a little spotty schedule this season. You welcome the new child into the world, and we are so happy for you with that going into season 3. But season 4, maybe we see you full time, maybe not. But what tracks do you have circled on your metaphorical calendar, expecting them to be in season 4, where you think you can go and get that first career win? Or should we just be ready for you to show up at Texas and get it?
Yeah, let's go for Texas.
Okay.
No, I mean, Darlington, I like Darlington as well. So we have a couple good chances there. And then, yeah, I was bummed to miss Charlotte this year. So next season, looking forward to that. And maybe Bristol again. I don't know, wasn't expecting it, but we'll see. Or Dover, similar sort of track there. So, yep.
All righty. Well, congratulations, Joe, on the top 3, getting back in your stride. Almost had the win here. We'll look forward to seeing you throughout the rest of the season into season 4, buddy.
All right, man. Have a good night.
We'll send Joe down. We'll grab your P3 finisher, who is ironically parked it up there on victory lane, I believe, right next to Douglas Henry there, who found his way to the new Bristol infield victory lane. Can't really find a good camera angle, so we'll just go ahead and hit the cockpit view, and we'll grab him. Aiden Gould, you bring home the top 3. You look like you had a shot to win. Self-spin after Joe getting around you, but you rebound here. Tell us about that drive on that final restart going. I think you restarted 9th and driving all the way to the top 3 in just about a lap and a half.
Yeah, it was a good race for us. Wish we could have got the win, but yeah, the last run after I spun, kind of knew it was like a 60, 70 lap run. Kind of knew it was gonna go green to the end, so kind of pushed there a little bit, and unfortunately I got into the wall with like 40 to go. Had some wheel damage and kind of killed the car, and I just could never really get back to Doug and Joe.
Well, this is another great finish for you. You continue to extend that lead. You have a massive lead. Even with Doug's win, there's still a lot of ground to be made up between Greg Jody at Douglas Henry and Jacob Alicia. As we get closer to Darlington, do you feel like the nerves are starting to go away? Do you feel less nervous? Do you really start to let it set in that you may be the Season 3 champion?
No, it ain't over.
It ain't over. Alrighty, Aiden. Well, congratulations on the top 3. We look forward to seeing you next week at Texas, where you have a win at. Have a good night, buddy.
You too, man. I'll see you tomorrow for the podcast.
Heck yeah.